Hey guys, Rich Sleeper back here, documenting my knee replacement journey. Just got done with my rehab for the morning. It's about 3 weeks and a day after my total knee replacement. Been stepping it up a notch. As you can see, I'm a little out of breath, trying to catch my breath after doing a little bit tougher of a session today, doing a little more reps, a little more weight, a little more range of motion. Did some biking today, getting better range of motion today than a few days ago. Again, 3 weeks in, just 3 weeks in a day. I was trying to make this the day before or the day before that, but as is per usual this far into surgery, I am not sleeping well, not feeling too hot in terms of energy. As you can see, I look a little disheveled. This is like my normal appearance now. I'm not sleeping good, tired often. Still doing my best to stay positive about the whole thing, progressing fantastically, staying well ahead of schedule here 3 weeks in, moving really good, healing really fast. You can see the swelling is almost down to nothing. That feels like bone or steel. I guess it's probably steel now too. But there's a little bit of swelling on the outside. The scar is almost completely closed up. It's got a tiny bit of opening right there. But overall, looking like a knee. Again, you can see I have a kneecap there now. It's not just a big swollen bulbous mess. It's looking smooth and fine. Hair's growing back, so I get my hairy legs back. But progress on gait, going great. Giving you guys a progress report. On the one hand, I'm still not sleeping. It is kind of a sucky situation. Last night was probably my best night yet. I probably got about 4 hours of sleep, which is far and away one of the best nights I've had since surgery. So I've heard horror stories of people who are like 3 months in finally getting their first night, like full uninterrupted night of sleep. And I've heard some people who get them after 2 weeks. I'm probably somewhere in between there. The ache is not ridiculously bad like it used to be. It's just uncomfortable enough that I just can't stop thinking about it. It's uncomfortable enough that I can't sleep for more than an hour, maybe 90 minutes at a time. I do nap during the day too, which is great. That helps like catch up a little bit, but last night, far and away the best night. I'm hoping I'm turning a corner here, so you might see a little more energetic Rich up here in the gym, and feeling a little better there. But again, this last 3 weeks of sleeping very little is just exhausting. Mentally draining, physically draining. Don't feel like doing my exercises, but I know I have to do them, so I'm doing them 2 or 3 times a day. Doing my spinning on the bike over here to work on my range of motion, get a little bit of blood flow to the legs, and you know, it's working. I'm doing good. I'm ahead of the game. I'm progressing well. Last PT session this week, I had a little bit of a backtrack on my range of motion. I had 115 at one point, now it's down to about 110, just because maybe I'm overdoing it is what they said. A little bit too much PT, a little bit too much therapy. I'm starting to push my limits a little bit. The pain is low enough that I can actually like put weight and push on this knee a little bit. And they said, go ahead and do that, but if it swells up too much or is too painful afterwards, that's your sign that you overdid it. So went to PT this week and I lost a little range of motion, and they said, that's your sign. You're doing too much. You're going too far. Dial back just a smidge. Go back to what you were doing before in terms of weight. Graduating in terms of range of motion today, that was 2 days ago. Today, I actually got on the bike and was able to lower the seat another centimeter, and I'm gonna try to do that again tomorrow. Got my ball of my foot on the pedal instead of my heel, so as of now, I'm about 4 centimeters below where I normally ride, and when I've had the arthritis before knee surgery, I couldn't lower that seat one bit, and so knowing that I am further along now than I was before surgery, that's great. The arthritis pain is gone, I just have the surgery pain, and the range of motion has already exceeded what I had before surgery. It is uncomfortable to go that far, but I literally could not bend my knee like past like 110, but now I'm at 115 with a little effort, and so that's good. No more bone spurs in the way, no more arthritis in the way. Total, I have about another 3 to 4 weeks of window of opportunity to work on my range of motion, so that's really my key thing. Yes, I'm working on strengthening the muscles back up, but range of motion is paramount. I've got straightness. I had full extension since like day 3, so I'm still keeping that going by doing leg extensions and flexions and stuff, and trying to keep straight. But flexion, that is a big thing today for the next couple weeks. So until that window of healing closes, and so progress is great. Pain getting better every day. Like I said, last night was my best night of sleep. I'm really hoping, fingers crossed, that means I'm gonna string together a couple days of sleeping. this upcoming week, gonna start actual workouts again. Last 3 weeks, doing everything just got me exhausted, winded, doing anything. I tried doing 5 pull-ups the other day and my heart rate skyrocketed. I just did a little bit today. That's why I'm so out of breath now. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do some ring rows. I'm gonna do some push-ups. I'm gonna do some crunches on the ball here. And I'm still trying to catch my breath from that. I did that like 6 minutes ago. So this is the week I'm finally gonna start like taking care of my body and like ramping up. This is coming from a guy who did 2-a-days for like the last 3 years, you know, morning cardio and stretching and then a big heavy weight session and a HIIT session in the afternoon. Like I said, I run a gym. So when you live in a gym, you have access to the gym all the time and you work out a lot. And so I also coached 4 to 6 classes a day. And so I get to model moves and do that stuff. And so I was a very, very active person. And that's why I am doing this in the first place. I want to remain a very active person. And this knee was limiting that. Is not allowing me to do things I want to do. And now that I'm getting it fixed, I'll be able to do all those things again. And so that's why I'm documenting this whole thing. Going back to ramping up this week, to be completely honest, I am not happy with what happens to my body when I do not exercise. Not only is it my mental outlet, my stress relief, but like I have to keep moving. My body just shrivels if I don't exercise a lot. And so since surgery, I've lost 9 pounds now. I just shrink if I don't lift weights regularly, if I don't run often, if I don't do my cardio, if I don't stimulate my muscles, I will just shrivel like a raisin. And so I don't like what I see in the mirror. This coming from a guy who's literally quite lean and has abs, even though I don't even have to work out. So they're just not as defined as to me. My skin is like loose on me. The weight I've lost is very noticeable. And so I'm like, ugh, I just cringe when I look at the mirror when I get out of the shower. Like my arms look smaller, my chest and my abs aren't as defined as they used to be. Yes, I've taken 3 weeks off, so I should accept it and give myself grace. I am spending all my energy on healing, hence the getting so out of breath doing just minimal exercises. So I accept it. Logically, I can say it's normal, I'm fine, I'll come back, it'll be great. But that little emotional part of me is saying, oh crap, you've got such a long way to dig yourself out of this hole to get back to the shape you're in. And I know that the race is long. This is a marathon, not a sprint. I've got the rest of my life to get fit. I finally fixed something that has been holding me back for a long time. And now I can work out well for the next 40, 50 years and be in great shape and set the example for you guys to be like what good health and fitness looks like. And so that was ultimately the goal here. But that little emotional piece in me, it's like, oh my gosh, this is gonna be a long journey. And I knew that going in, but knowing what I gotta go through to get back to where I was, that tip-top shape that I really like to be in, it's gonna be a long climb. And so I'm going to work my ass off. I know it's gonna be a long journey. I know it's gonna be a hard time getting back out. I look forward to the process of working to gain back to what I had. It might take 6 months, might take a year, might take 2 years. And who knows, I might get back to being able to compete. Even if I do never compete again in these functional fitness competitions like these Eric's Bricks competitions, I'll still be happy knowing that I could be as fit as I could ever be. So that's the whole goal here, is just being fit, healthy, and setting an example for you guys and for myself and for my family that I can do this and that we do hard things and we come through on the other side. And so, yeah, that's where I'm at. 3 weeks, doing pretty good so far. Still highs, still lows, but hopefully turning the corner here in terms of pain and sleeping. So fingers crossed, things are progressing, still doing really well. But yeah, we'll check back in every other week or so. So stay tuned.